perhaps you can kick us off, Rob, about what makes your product unique. I don't think that's very difficult. It's one of the most unique places on earth, but for those that are new to the webinar series and may not have heard much about Coober Pedy.
Yeah, it's the only underground 4-star standard hotel in the world. We have underground rooms, above ground rooms, so we cater for all those people who want something totally different. We're in the middle of the bush. The bush is our outback. It's a long way from Adelaide. It's halfway between Adelaide and Alice Springs, so yeah, it makes life very interesting. Totally different to any other experience you'll have in Australia. As you can see by this slide here, it's halfway between Adelaide and Ayers Rock and Alice Springs. It's accessible by plane, train, automobile. You can fly up there with Rex Airlines. You can get the Garn train. Everyone's heard of the Garn. You get that down from Alice Springs coming south to Adelaide. That's that image up there on the left. That the Garn leaves Alice, and we would always recommend a southbound because that way you can get to Coober Pedy at 11 at night as opposed to northbound at 4 in the morning. And with the Garn, it gives you a lot of flexibility. You can do train, like train into Coober and a train out to Adelaide, or you can do a train into Coober and fly out to Adelaide with Rex. Rex flies 6 days a week, every day except Saturday. 2-hour flight, great service. And that's
maybe if you go,
essentially what is different.
If we maybe just go back to the map, just because I know you've got a great map which links other parts of Australia, so for instance Cairns or Darwin with flights.
Yes.
Could you just maybe talk to the group about some common itineraries that people do from the Great Barrier Reef there?
Some great itineraries is most of the US market's going to fly into Brisbane or Sydney. We always recommend doing the East Coast first, and then you'd make your way into the Red Centre. Once you're in the Red Centre, you always do your Red Centre touring, which is Alice Springs into Ayers Rock, and then you catch the train coming southbound into Coober Pedy. And that would be, if you came down on a Thursday, you would stay Thursday, Friday, Saturday night with us, and then catch the train onto Adelaide from Coober Pedy on Sunday night. But for those who don't want to spend 3 nights, because the US market moves fairly quickly, they're pretty mobile, you come down on a Sunday, stay with us Sunday and Monday night, and then fly out to Adelaide on the Tuesday afternoon. But failing that, if people wanted to kind of move even quicker, there's a line there that goes from Sydney to Adelaide. You'd fly from Sydney to Adelaide, but continue in transit onto Kangaroo Island, stay in KI for 2 nights, then fly from KI to Coober Pedy directly, again, from KI to Adelaide in transit up to Coober Pedy, stay there 2 nights, and then come back to Adelaide. And that would be 2 options which you could, or 3 options that you could use.
Thanks, Rob.
The hotels in Coober Pedy, another point of difference, it's 60% of the people live underground. It's not as if living underground is something that we've done just for the hotel. It is that way because it can be very hot in summer, it can be quite cool in winter, and the meters and meters of rock equalise the temperature, so it's very, very comfortable inside. We've actually copied how the locals live. And that's the hotel there. On the left-hand side is the main foyer leading towards the shops and the bars, and on the right-hand side is a morning shot looking back towards the main complex. 19 underground rooms, 31 above ground. There are going to be a range of people who are not comfortable living underground, but that's okay. Come and stay above ground, and you still get the underground experience by going on tour, going shopping, having breakfast, lunch, that sort of thing. So you get the underground experience, but you can choose to sleep above ground.
Great. What's the most surprising element of the product or experience? It could be the hotel or the touring that clients talk about.
The most popular is, well, people are surprised at the standard. Everyone comments and compliments us about the standard of the property. We're easily a 4-star. That's the firstly. Secondly, in touring, we use local drivers who are existing opal miners, so they have very good knowledge of opal and opal mining and the region, and they're able to convey that detail and that information through to our guests.
Can I just, I want to add something to that, guys. So this is Matt speaking. This is one thing I find interesting about Rob's product is a lot of people think that staying in an underground hotel you're going to have a porter come along and carry your bags down a steep ladder into a mine shaft and down into your room, but it's actually dug into the side of a hill, as this picture shows.
We actually walk horizontally into the hill to get underground. We don't walk down a hole. And that's how everyone has their underground dwellings. Why? Because it's convenient. Why make it hard for yourself? Underground rooms, our biggest selling point. Those colourful walls is not a paint job, it's all natural rock. Everything you expect in a 4-star. No windows, it's pitch black, no air conditioner, we just have fans for air. Quite stunning in their appeal and dead quiet. You can't hear a thing.
Well, that might be another surprising element. It's the best night's sleep that a lot of travellers have when they're away.
No question, John.
So we're coming up to some of the tours and transfer offerings?
Yes. We do the Desert Cave half-day town and breakaways tour, which departs daily at 2 in the afternoon. That takes a good look at the whole town, the breakaways, the history, and other bits and pieces around town, including a mine tour, which is a tourist mine. Then we go to a down and dirty opal digging tour, which is usually a morning departure, and that's a hands-on opal digging tour where we demonstrate a few essentials by video, by imagery, and then we take you into an actual working mine, and we give you a pick and a shovel and make you go to work. Move a bit of dirt, turn the machines on, have some noise, a bit of dust. Great experience. It really turns you into one of the local miners.
Get down and get dirty.
That's why it's called Down and Dirty. Then we have the Sunset Ghosts and Stars, which leaves on demand. We go to the breakaways for the sunset. We take you to the cemetery for the ghosts. We take you out on the plains for the stargazing at night. So obviously that leaves at dusk to encapsulate those 3 elements. We have the Mar Run that leaves Mondays and Thursdays. Probably that's a soft adventure only for those who want to spend 14 hours in a Ocker, which is a very high, large, cumbersome sort of 4-wheel drive vehicle. It's a great experience. Drives about 670 k's, which is about 450 miles from Adelaide to William Creek to Unadilla and back. And then the Painted Desert Tour, which again is a full-day tour, which goes out to the Painted Hills, the Painted Desert, and encapsulates all that magnificent scenery of the breakaways. And in all the touring, we go to a mine, we go to a museum, we go to an underground church, we go to our golf course where we have browns instead of greens. I reckon I could beat Tiger Woods on that course. You can do a right-hand turn quite easily on those. We go to the breakaways, which is the Painted Desert country. As you can see, quite stunning visually. It's got some spiritual importance to the Aboriginals. Our opal field, we call it a lunar landscape. All those little triangles there, overburdens of dirt which have come out of a hole which is about 30 metres deep. On the Down and Dirty tour, we take them out to a mine, as you can see in the middle shot, and then we go out noodling, which is our word for fossicking for opal. The miner excavates all the dirt, puts it on top of the ground, and leaves it there. People are allowed to just go there and scratch around like a chicken looking for excess opal. The man uses the ochre, which is the image on the top. And we go to Painted Desert, which is that sort of country there. Quite stunning in its visual appeal. Thanks, John.
And do you have a specific image or photograph or area? I know you've shown quite a bit, but that you really like?
All of them.
Or is a favourite? All of it?
Yeah, all of them, John. I think things are different because of that sort of image of the breakaways. Everyone's usually taken by that image.
Yeah. Yeah, spectacular country, there's no doubt about that. All right, that brings us to our last question. What ways can you assist our participants today to promote or learn more about your experience?
We have CDs available for those who want them, which have 3 different presentations, short, long presentations, both video and slide. We have print media, which they can distribute. We have a Word document which they can use, which they can cut and paste into their terminals for their staff, which they can use as a sales assistant and or to be able to send to people on demand. Yeah, so we're able to assist everybody to make a sale.
Sorry, mate. What we'll do after this session, along with Renee and Ashley's materials, is just put this probably on a You Send It link. So if you do wish to download the presentations and fact sheets and all those sorts of things, you should be able to do it easily with one click. So thank you, everyone. That brings us to the end of the first session. Just a couple of announcements. Before we take any questions for Rob, please type them in now. But while we're waiting for them, we have a couple of exciting announcements. We've actually launched our new South Australia website for the American and Canadian market, and I'll be sending a release on that a little bit later in the week. But if you do want to have a sneak peek, it's http://us.southaustralia.com. And you should have received a notification about our new Facebook page, which is facebook.com/SAGoneWild, with a strong focus on our fantastic wildlife experiences and all the wacky and wonderful things you can do around South Australia. So if you haven't friended us yet, please get on Facebook and have a look at that. So we're going to have a little rest over the holiday season. So we wish you a very happy holidays, and we'll get started in January, early January, with our next session. So I'm just having a look to see if we've got any more questions for you, Rob. Okay. What is the Opal Inn?
Opal Inn's a 3-star property. For those who don't want to spend the same money per day to get people into Coober Pedy, they can still get the underground experience with my tours, but they can save about $100 a day for the accommodation. It's a local pub sort of environment.
Okay, I've also got a question. Sorry, mate. I've also got a question about the mail run and that day out, because there might be a few people on the line that don't know too much about the distances and the amazing effort it takes to deliver the mail in the outback.
The guy actually leaves at 8:50 in the morning. He has to leave at that time because that's what time they turn up at the post office. He actually picks up the mail bags and delivers them to William Creek, Unadilla, and about 7 other cattle stations along the way. And by the time he goes out there all the way around and all the way back, it takes him close to 13 to 14 hours, depending on how many people on board and how many times he stops to have a chat to everyone along the way. But he actually does deliver the mail. He's a mailman. He's a contractor with Australia Post, and he only goes twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays.
Fantastic. And there's been a question from Sonny about the movies. I know that Coober Pedy's been a set for a lot of famous movies.
Mad Max 3 was built there, made there. Mad Max 4 was, we're trying to get it to come over there, but we've had a bit of rain the last 18 months, 2 years, and so we're too green for Mad Max 4. But if it dries up early next year, Mr. Miller might come back and make Mad Max 4 there. We've had, until the end of time, we've had Red Planet, we've had Holy Smoke, we've had a whole range of those sorts of movies, all made in Coober Pedy, all because of the quite stark, very Mars sort of environment. I guarantee one thing, you won't see anything else like it in Australia.
It definitely is a gem, or an opal, I guess, in SA's product lineup, and
that's
I think something that everyone should see once in their life at least. It's just an unbelievable country. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining the session today. We really appreciate it.